Alrighty, so we're going to come to a seated position, either with a block underneath your hips or a couple of pillows, cross-legged. Feels good. You can also do that. So we want to find a nice tall spine and just zippering up from pubic bone to belly button. And then just allow your shoulders to fall down the sides of your body. You might have to roll the shoulders back and down a couple times. Give the head a little bit of a wake up, the neck. And then we're going to float the arms straight up. So reaching long through the fingertips. And we're going to open out towards the left as you breathe in. And then exhale as you bring it out. So just finding a nice little rotation. Inhale over to the right. And then exhale. So allow your body just to open up as much as you can. I do have a wall behind me, so I'm not going to go as far. Get that nice stretch through the front of the shoulders and all the way through the back as well. Let's just do a couple more here. Inhale to open. Exhale. Last 3, 2, and 1. Bringing it back, come up onto the knees. We'll just leave those blocks there for a moment. And then we're going to interlace the hands behind our head, pull belly in, elbows are wide. We're going to lift up and over into the side. And then as you exhale, restack the spine, take it up and over as if you're reaching or stretching up and over a small barrel. Try to drop your shoulders down and away from your ears, so we're not wearing our shoulders like earrings. Beautiful. Try keep pressing your hip bones forwards as you draw up through the front of the body. We've got 2 more here. Reset through the shoulders. Waking up those obliques. And relax the arms by your side. Shrug your shoulders right up and then drop them down. So little elevation and depression of the shoulders. Now, if you're like me and can kind of feel your neck jutting forwards, pull your neck in slightly. Eye gaze is forwards. Lift and drop. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Fabulous work. All right. Hopefully top of the body is nice and warm. My jumper is coming off and we're going to make our way onto our hands and our knees. Once we get there, I want you to spread your fingers nice and evenly so that there's a centimeter space between each finger. Knees and hips are stacked. And then just begin to open through the front body. Inhale, cow pose. And then exhale as you round cat pose. Just focusing on inviting your breath with movement here. So whether you stay a little longer in one posture or if you're moving quicker than usual, just try to move to your breath where you're at this morning. If you want to come into the sides of the body as well, take it into the sides, maybe lingering in one area a little longer. We've got 3 more rounds of breath. And exhale, coming on back. Just bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders, stacking nice and evenly. And then you'll take the hand that's closest to me up to the sky, right up to the roof as you breathe in. And then we'll thread the needle. Exhale, take it down, working your cheek or your forehead down. Pressing your hips towards the back wall. Inhale, float the arm back up. Find a little rotation, maybe even deeper. And then exhale as you take it down. 1 more here, up to the sky and down. Coming all the way back up and then taking it straight to the other side. Just noticing what you notice between sides as we start to warm up and lubricate the spine. If there's any niggles or aches or pains. And then do one full round here in your own time. Lovely. Once you finish that one, you'll come all the way back up, hands and knees. So to begin with, the hand that's closest to the camera, I'll get you to bring on out to about 45-degree angle. Thumb is up to the sky, palm is facing forwards. Now I want you to set the supporting shoulder first. So there's no wonkiness through the hips or the shoulders. Pull your belly in. We're going to float that arm just up to shoulder height and then tap it down. So we're working scapular stabilization here, mobility through the shoulder joint. Just a little tap and bringing it up to shoulder height, no higher. And just notice if your breathing's changed. There's a little bit of warmth building through both shoulders. Try to keep your neck nice and long. We'll go for 3. And 2 and 1. Slide the hand to the front of the mat this time. Just try to draw your shoulder back into its pocket, and then we're going to lift and lower. A little lift and lower. So as you lift this one now overhead, try, like I said earlier, sliding the shoulder back into the pocket without it letting go and sliding too far forward. Last 3 and 2 and 1. We're going to add a full circle here. So we're going to lift that arm straight back up and then swim it around, pull back to the hip, sweep down and then back up to the top. Exhale as you bring it around. Inhale back at the top. And that full range of motion through the shoulder girdle. Supporting shoulder should be working pretty hard here as well. Let's just do one more here. Up and swim. Lovely work. I'm going to spin around, but we're just going to change straight to the other side. Bring your second arm out. 45-degree angle, pull belly in, and then we're going to lift and lower. So imagine that your wings on your back are sitting right on top of your rib cage. They're not sliding about. This movement is coming deep from the shoulder girdle, from the rotator cuff. These little exercises are going to really focus and strengthen all throughout the shoulder. Last 3 and 2. 1. From here, slide it straight forwards. We've got our lift overhead. So I noticed that my range overhead isn't the same, and that might be the same for you. It might be different. I have to shorten my range as soon as I take it overhead. My shoulder doesn't love it, and I fatigue a lot quicker. So we just got 3 more here, and 2. And then let's take it straight into our swim, down towards the hip, and then inhale back up through the top. Exhale, squeeze, and back. So if you can imagine, we're laying on our bellies and we're doing breaststroke, single arm. 2 to go. And relax here. Pop both hands down and then just reset through the spine. Little wiggle through the tailbone. Drop the head. And then from here, I'm going to spin back around again. Your first side. So I'm going to get you to have first arm out. Might be your right arm. And then I'll get you to take your opposite leg out long. So we've got same arm, opposite arm to leg. I'm going to float that arm up into that 45-degree angle, and then can you float that leg just to hip height? Notice with your arm out to the side, it might help a little bit more with stability, or it might not. Just going to hold it here and then flex your heel up to the sky. And then we're going to go up for some pulses. A little pulse, little squeeze. Try to rotate your top leg, that hip inwards and down. Last 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk that hand to the top of the mat. Pulse it up here. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pop your hand down and then switch straight to the other side. Take that arm out to the 45-degree angle. Float the leg, float the arm. Hold still, get your balance first, and then we'll pulse. Just tiny little pulses. Imagine you can balance something like a hot cup of coffee or tea on your lower back and it wouldn't spill. 3, 2, 1. Take it straight up and over and pulse and up, up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take your knees wide and then just find a child's pose as you rest. I'm just going to return my heater off again because it's decided to turn back on. Take a few minutes there just to breathe. Definitely not heater weather. All right. So when you're ready, you're going to make your way up onto your knees again. And then placing your right foot out towards the side. So parallel foot. And then you're going to bring yourself up. Take your arms out into a lovely T shape and then lift up out of the rib cage. You're going to reach over towards your left and then pop your hand down nice and flat. So we've got our arms stacked, neck is nice and long. This isn't happening. If you do have a little bit of neck issues or pains, just take your eye gaze down to the hand. From here, we're just going to hover the foot off, flex your toes just to support all up through the hip and the knee. And then we're just going to lift and lower, lift and lower. I want you to press your bottom hip through and then wrap up through your bottom ribs. Little lift and lower. We've got 4 and 3, 2, 1. Let's pulse it quick and quick and quick. You'll see how I'm moving my leg quick, but my hips and my back aren't wobbling about. Last 3 and 2 and 1 and pop it down. Take a breath in and then float all the way up. Take it up and over, stretch through the other side. Coming on up, swap over, straight to the other side. Little warm up through the legs before we get stuck into it. Float the arms and then reach over as far as you can go, and then we'll pop that arm down. Stack through the shoulders first. When you've got your balance, you're going to float that leg up, no higher than hip height, and we're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. So I am quite light on my wrists, on my fingers, taking more of it into my legs and my hips, and I'm pulling up, which is helping to the lightness. There's not a lot of pressure through the wrist. All right, waking up that leg. We've got 3 and 2. Let's pulse it quick and quick, quick. Oh yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pop that leg down. Take a breath in and float on up. effortless. Beautiful. Take it up and over. Take a big breath into the sides of the body. And coming on up, bring this knee in. We'll sit back and then spin your legs around. We're going to come into our half roll back. So I'll turn sideways. Legs are in hip width distance. Reach your arms forwards. Take a breath in, grow taller, and then exhale, press your lower back in towards the mat. And then hold here, take a breath in, and then exhale, roll on up, scooping through the lower belly, and then restack the spine. Exhale. Rolling halfway back, and then rolling all the way back up. Pull your belly deep, pulling it back towards the wall behind you. Again, just reset through the shoulders if you can feel them sliding forwards. Imagine you're holding a ball between both hands. Last two here. And up. And last one. Holding, holding, holding. And then come all the way down. Relax the hands down by your sides. Walk your feet a little closer. And then we're going to begin with our leg float, so side to side. So with our feet firmly on the ground, I want you to just open one knee out towards the side. Keep the other one in that nice still position, and then bring it back as you exhale. So falling out to one side, moving within your range, but whilst keeping the integrity of the pelvis. No rocking about. It's always nice to pop your hands on your hip bones just to feel what's going on, but if you're feeling pretty good here, maybe closing down the eyes as well. It's got 4 more. Pulling your hip bones in towards one another. Last 2. And once you bring this one in, float up onto your tiptoes, little lift of the heels. Now anchor down to your tailbone and your lower back. And then we'll float right leg to tabletop, pull belly in deeper, left leg to tabletop. We're going to alternate with our toe taps. So dropping one leg and then alternating. When you take your legs down, I want you to feel as if they're reaching over something. So rather than just dropping down like little dancing legs, it's actually trying to reach over in that 90 degree through the knee. And you'll be able to feel pretty soon or pretty quickly that the more you do that, the more strength and control is needed through the lower abdominals. So this one's always a good one to test transverse abdominis strength, whether you're using it or whether you're using your lower back or your neck. All right, from here, let's float our arms up into that door frame. Continue with your toe taps. We're holding that imaginary ball, so arms are nice and active here. And then we're going to split the arms as we split the legs. So with our dead bug, I want you to take alternate arm and leg and then bring it back. Stretch it long and then bring it back. So we're removing one base, which makes it a little bit more challenging here. So today I'm going to shorten my range. I'm not going to take my arms straight behind me, and I'm not going to tap my toes all the way down. Why? Because I can feel my lower back trying to take over, a little bit sore. Let's just do 3 more here. And 2. And 1. Bring your knees back into tabletop. Interlace your hands behind your head. Support your head, nice and heavy. and then elbows wrap forwards. We're going to take our legs into parallel, so separate the knees, and then we're going to curl on up. Inhale to lower, exhale to curl up, pull belly in, inhale to lower. So finding that flexion through the spine. And then as we curl up, let's add our single leg stretch. So reach one leg long and then lower as you bring it back. Stretch long out of the hip. Pull belly in deep, exhale. Last 4. And 3. 2. 1. Hold yourself up here, release your hands. And then we're going to take the arms up and over. One hand's coming through the thighs, one hand's coming over to the other. Take a breath in and lower. Exhale over to the other side. Working obliques. Inhale up. Exhale, pull belly in deeper. Can you make your waistband smaller with each breath out? All right, option 2, straighten one leg as you curl up. Otherwise, stay in your tabletop the whole time. Exhale. Let's do 2 more here. And last one, and relax down. Bring your knees into your chest. That was getting a little hip flexory for me. My transverse is being very lazy today. All right, so hands behind your head again. We're going to keep our legs down to begin with, and we're going to try move into our twist, our ab twist, which is usually this one. We're going to start with our feet down. So elbow to knee, lift your knee, and then try and get that elbow right to the knee without pulling your knee in, yeah? And then drop it down. Take it to the other side, knee to tabletop. Slide that elbow, curl up an inch, and relax down. Keep that going. I actually tried doing this on a chair a couple of weeks ago, and it's harder than you think. Relax down. Let's do 4 more in total. Finishing on the left. And 3, 2. Try to get those ribs to hips. And 1. And relax down. Bring your feet together, soles of the feet together. Allow your knees to come out wide. And then just allow that nice opening through the thighs there. From here, separate your feet and then knock your knees over towards the side. So another release through the front of the hip flexor there. Over to the other side. All right, coming on up, wiggle your feet underneath your knees again, and then we'll take one leg up to the sky. So we're going to take our legs into some single leg circles. So a couple of things. If you feel like your neck is taking over, flip your palms up. Alternatively, you can do this on your elbows and do it like that. I find that a little nicer. All right, so leg up to the sky. You're going to take it down, out, and around. So we're drawing the letter D. Down, out, and around. Try to keep your hip bones staring straight up to the ceiling. Depending on your range, it might be a big D, it might be a small. As long as those hip bones stay nice and level. There's going to be a tiny little bit of movement, that's obvious, but we want to try to keep it as level as possible. Pull belly in. Now let's reverse those circles. We're going to take it out, down and around, up. I can definitely start to feel my shoulders, my neck wanting to grip. Last one. and bring it back up to the top. Pop that foot down, swap it straight to the other side. We'll start with down, out, and around. So watch yourself draw with your foot. Notice if that stable leg or stable knee wants to go for a wander. Down, out, and up. Last two. And one. Let's reverse it. Out. Scoop it back up. I have to take this second side a lot slower than my first side. Feels like someone else's leg, to be honest. All right, two more here. And one. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little roll. And then we'll pop our feet back down. We're going to come into our hip bridge. So we'll articulate through the spine to begin with. So scoop, press your hips all the way up, coming onto the shoulders. And then as you exhale, you'll melt breastbone, lower back, coming all the way down. Breath in, down at the bottom, and then exhale, scoop and lift, squeezing through the glutes and the outer hip, and then rolling on down. Watch those knees are staying in line with your hips. Coming on up. Exhale down. Two more here, pressing hips all the way up. Rolling on down. Finding a nice evenness, press between both feet. Unhook your toes if they're digging in. And then this one, come all the way back up. Find a neutral spine, so tailbone is dropped slightly. We aren't wedged right up. And then we're just going to drop the bum halfway and then squeeze up at the top. Little hip squeezes, glute bridges as we lift and lower. So we want to feel it not only through a little bit through the front, glutes and hamstrings here. Let's go for 5, drop, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come all the way up, hover your right leg, and then see if you can roll on down with that leg in tabletop. Pop the right foot down, roll on up. Take your left leg to tabletop, hold, and then coming all the way down. Let's do that again. Pop the left foot down, roll on up. Right leg to tabletop. Try to guide both hip bones evenly down. Come on up. Lefty. And rolling on down. Now we're going to reverse it. This one's a bit harder, I think. So from here, with your spine on the floor, bring your right leg to tabletop. Take a breath in and then come on up. Single leg. Pop that leg down. Then roll on down. Left leg, tabletop. Take a breath in. Exhale, come on up. Lovely. Pop that foot down and then roll back down. 2 more times, 1 on each side. Right leg, press on up. Pop the leg down and roll. Last one. Come straight up. Down. And lovely. We'll finish off with our little hip pulses again. Coming straight up. And drop and squeeze. Drop and squeeze. And squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling on down. Lovely work. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Have a little roll around. Send right leg up to the sky, interlace the hands behind. Give the ankle a few rolls, a few circles. A gentle pull in towards your face. And then send that leg up and over, so ankle to knee, and then slide your hands through, pulling that opposite leg in towards you. Try rest your head down as well as your shoulders. Lovely. Swapping over, so left foot to the sky. Draw that knee in. Finding some movement through the ankle, through the front of the shins. And take that one over. Feed your hands through that little gap. And relax there. Bring your hands behind your knees. We're going to roll up and down the spine a couple times. Once you come to a seated position, straighten your legs out nice and long, separate the feet, and then take a big breath in as you reach up, and then exhale, folding forwards. Let's do that one more time. Stack the spine, take a big breath in, and folding forwards. If you need to do some extra stretches, please stay, do what you have to do. Otherwise, thank you so much. I'll see you later.